Super Bowl champions for the second time.
Live from the Busch Light Studios. Produced by Colton Little with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft. This is The Morning Rush.
All right, we pride ourselves about being honest and forthcoming here on The Morning Rush. It's a Hot Take Monday. Tommy Kraft, Colton Little, Ty Richardson. Guys, I did not watch 1 second live of the Super Bowl yesterday. Now, there's some context behind this. So, get back from Texas and kind of doing some stuff around the house, getting some things done. And I had forgotten that NBC still has this dilemma with FUBU, which is what I'm using right now for television purposes. So I start Googling. It's like, how do you get a free Peacock subscription, do this? It's like, oh, well, apparently through Walmart Plus. So I go through the rigmarole of doing the Walmart Plus thing, 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and decide, try and get this thing set up. Well, turns out that's only a surge subscription of Peacock. Call a bunch of buddies. They don't have it at the time. So you know what? I'm tired. I'm sleepy. And I went to bed at 6 o'clock last night and woke up. And I'm to be honest, here on Hot Take Monday, I'm not that mad at myself that I missed that game.
You didn't
miss
anything.
It's a gross game.
Boring.
I mean, the first offensive touchdown came in the fourth quarter. Like, that was, and personally, like for Hunter, Arkansas Razorback, and Eric, wanted Pats to win that, but I thought the Seahawks would win. I don't really feel that bad missing that game yesterday. And I feel well rested.
And you call yourself a radio man.
I woke up early intentionally because I wanted to watch the highlights and watch that. I don't feel bad at all for missing
the highlights
that
didn't
game
take
live.
long.
I was planning on going to a party yesterday, and I just texted my buddies. It's like, hey, man, I'm not going to make it. I was tired, and I really don't feel bad missing that game yesterday at all. At all.
And you missed Bad Bunny at halftime.
That too. A lot of things that I missed out on yesterday. I was going through the Super Bowl recap. There's a $180 burger that cost $196.46 with tax. I really don't think I missed
a bunch of field goals.
Bunch of field goals.
You missed a bunch of field goals.
Jason Myers should have won the MVP. Five field goals. I love Kenneth Walker. I loved watching him at Michigan State. He was outstanding last night. Well deserved.
Well, everybody is going to say it's a bad Super Bowl, it's a bad football game because there wasn't a ton of touchdowns. If you appreciate good defense, it was a pretty good game. I mean, because why were they not scoring? Well, it's because you had defensive lines that were flushing quarterbacks, and particularly Drake May didn't run the ball enough in the first half. What was he sacked? 5 times?
Will Campbell was
5 or 6 times for the game. I mean, that's why, but the Patriots defense was almost as good, limiting to those field goals. So if you appreciate defense, it was a good game. But we, I think, what was it, 8 of the top 9 offenses in the league are what, pretty much made the playoffs go this year. So I get it. We're programmed to like big passing plays and lots of scores and, 42-35 outcomes. But if you like just, rock 'em, sock 'em, trench warfare football, it was a pretty good game from that standpoint.
Seattle, to me, watching the highlights, won it the Patriot way, the old Patriot way, the initial Tom Brady Super Bowls, defense and special teams. That's how they initially won it with TB in the early 2000s. And it's not like Sam Darnold blew people away with an incredible game. He was okay last night, made the plays he needed to. But the defense ended up, I think, with 6 sacks. Myers went, I think, 5 for 5. And now Seattle's sitting a Super Bowl champion. And there was this great stat. When you think about the teams that Sam Darnold has been on the last few years, 30-plus years those teams have gone without a Super Bowl, and he gets the second one for Seattle in recent memory. And they get a little revenge on the TB game a few years ago where Malcolm Butler picked off Russell Wilson at the goal line, and McDonald, 38 years old, third youngest coach ever to win a Super Bowl. And think about where he was a few years ago as the GA for Georgia. And now to be in this position is pretty remarkable.
Yeah, a couple of young coaches in this game. So, I mean, was it the greatest Super Bowl ever? Of course not. Super Bowl is going to be on the West Coast again next year. I saw the note that it's going to be at L.A. next year. So, it just didn't have that feel because I don't think they were so polar opposites in our coast. There was no team near. There was no Chiefs. It felt weird to me because there was no regional rooting interest. And it was great to see Hunter Henry be a captain last night and go after the coin toss and all of those things. And I was rooting for the Patriots because of the Razorback tie, but I wasn't emotionally like plugged in any way, shape, or form.
And that's kind of why
but it's the Super Bowl.
In addition to the television dispute with Fubu, that's another reason it's like, man, I don't have to watch this game. By the way, Drake May left Hunter out to dry like twice last night. He got rocked. There was a terrible pass over. I told you, I watched the highlights this morning. There were 25 minutes. There was 2 times, one in the end zone, the other time there was a crossing route over the middle. He throws it behind Hunter. Hunter just gets rocked.
That was early. That was early in the game.
And then the fourth quarter where he gets rocked in the end zone, I'm saying to myself, it's like, man, Hunter just got killed a couple of those moments last night.
Stage too big for Drake May.
Yeah, it's like the whole
he had
thing.
No hell.
And
like I said, Will Campbell was in hell. They were getting beat with rushing 4.
You didn't have a dynamic quarterback matchup. Like a lot of times when you have a Super Bowl, you at least have one high-profile major quarterback, and Darnold's like it's wild first USC quarterback ever to win the thing, which is just insane to me when you think about that history. I don't know, May's a young kid in his second year, and there's some excitement level moving forward with him. But you've had some incredible quarterback matchups, or even just one guy like a Joe Burrow that's been in the Super Bowl, and you just didn't have that this year. I don't know what the ratings are going to end up being. I'm going to guess it's still going to deliver regardless, because that's just what the Super Bowl is. You have non-football fans that watch it every year, but that again added to me not like have to watch the game.
It was, but the game was close and competitive, for 2.5 quarters. I mean, you didn't have a touchdown until the fourth quarter, right? Because only the second time, I think the graphic said, second or third time, you'd had three quarters with no touchdowns scored. Well, wouldn't you like to have those odds on the Bet Saracen app? I don't know if that was one of the prop bets. I wouldn't have put any money on it, but it would have, probably paid pretty good odds last night to say, hey, we're gonna get through 3 quarters with no touchdowns. So even though the game might not have excited you because there wasn't a lot of high-flying, high-scoring plays, it probably held the audience pretty good because it was 3-0, then it was 6-0, it was 9. The game was never out of reach till the game was nearly over.
And then you had the pick six, which I thought initially was a fumble.
And they bring pressure as well.
That was a wild sequence there.
Yeah. Well, there were a couple of plays in this game where the ball, could you have gotten a piece of notebook paper underneath the ball, between the ball and the turf? There were 2 different plays in this game, and I think they got both of them right based on the replays. But you talk about, was it or was it not touching a blade of grass? You wouldn't put your hand on the Bible or bet your life on it, because there was 2 plays that were just absolutely as close as they get in that regard.
Ramondre Stevenson may look like he was disgusted with himself after that throw because he thought he threw it short, and the kid ended up catching it and taking the end zone. So, yeah, there were a couple of, like you said, crazy plays that happened last night that ended up going.
Just close play. They weren't crazy. They were just close on was it complete or was it not complete?
Well, I was thinking, I was watching, I was like, maybe Seattle let one go and it's going to come back to haunt them when Darnold missed JSN on that, what ended up being a deep route. Initially, it was a short route. He missed him by a couple yards. I was like, I don't know. That might have.
Is that the one he overthrew him on the go? What turned out to be a go route, and
he got behind the defense. He and just missed him.
Well, but that was. I'm not even sure that was a yard miss. He couldn't run underneath it. One of the fastest guys on the field. So, and that would have led to another score. So, I thought all in all was a pretty entertaining game. Mentioned the Bet Saracen app. Hopefully you had fun with that last night. If not, download it now. We got tons of stuff coming up. Now that football's over, we completely turn our attention to college basketball, the SEC, and March Madness. So it won't be long, but before we'll be breaking down brackets and looking at tournament brackets, and you'll want the Bet Saracen app for that. So download it now. Also get all the new promo offers that are available. It's Bet Saracen, Arkansas's #1 sports betting app.
Anyone have the yellow or lime Gatorade last night that was dumped on McDonald? After the game?
Did not.
Anyone bet on that?
Did not bet on that.
Buddy did one on the Gatorade. He also had the over at 43, and the game ended at 42. So he was He was sad about
Okay. Did anyone have any obscure prop bets on the game? Did you?
Did win a square on a board. So
no, didn't make any. Had a buddy, like I said, he won the Gatorade and the coin toss, but all of his bets inside the game were not.
Sometimes the obscure bets you feel happier about winning than after the game than the actual in-game.
Well, but you never bet enough on them to make a huge difference.
They did show them mixing up the yellow Gatorade with about 3 or 4 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. That was a little interesting because I'm sure there were lots of gamblers just hooked to the screen whenever they showed that shot of the Gatorade. Yeah.
Robert said he got the coin toss right with the head, texting in here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. A 50% chance odds. I know a lot of people like to do that at the beginning. Well, I don't know what the percentage odds of Arkansas walking into Hump Dump and winning that game. Place they hadn't won in a decade, but they did it by 20. That's a place that Cal's never lost. He's 22-1 against Mississippi State. Really impressive win for the Razorbacks.
Thomas cut off. Kick out Brazil, and Trevin knocks down his second three-pointer. Acup's going to lob it to Seeley. Isaiah roams the baseline and slams it home. Seeley with a dunk, and Arkansas's up by 9. How about that?
Zay was ready. He's been locked in all week.
Middle of the floor. Thomas knocks it away. Loose ball. Malik comes out of there with it. 4 seconds, 3 seconds. Acuff, three-pointer go. Good. Acuff lobs it for Billy, and Richmond throws it down. And Arkansas heads home with a 20-point win over Mississippi State. The first win in the Hump in 11 years for the Razorbacks.
And the way we played the first 8 minutes of the game, that's what we need every game. Every game we're playing is we're protecting our seed.
This is the opening drive.
I do want to play off what Cal said at the end there, but as far as the game goes, Friday night, the availability report comes out, and you see that Carter Knox and DJ Wagner are doubtful. You're thinking, oh, no, goodness gracious. And they're out for the game. And yet, Arkansas, 35-plus minutes with the lead, dominated Mississippi State for the majority of that basketball game, that 8-minute stretch Cal was talking about. I believe it was like a 22-1 run at one point. I mean, that is as good as a road performance that you've seen from the team this year, and hopefully they can parlay it in tomorrow night when they go to Baton Rouge.
Well, and it'd be interesting to see, will those guys be able to give you any minutes? I wonder if you had to play someone in the upper third of the league, if those guys would have been available for that game on Saturday. Arkansas outclassed Mississippi State in every way, shape, or form. And this game, if you just go out and play, and Arkansas has not lost back-to-back games and wasn't expecting them to do that after a week of practice. Arkansas went out and played the way they're capable of and the way they should against a team like Mississippi State. So now you got to go do it against what will be a more difficult challenge with LSU tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, but and a more athletic team with LSU. But let's just be honest, Mississippi State, outside of Hubbard, they didn't have any way to match up with Arkansas.
Yeah, he had gone
16 points and led the way for them.
Yeah, 69 games that he had knocked down a three-pointer, and Arkansas stopped that on Saturday. You mentioned something important, and I'll say it again. Razorbacks had not lost back-to-back games all season. So they have not let one loss turn into two. And I know there was a very emotional game this past Saturday, taking on the Kentucky Wildcats, the way that game ended up. And for Arkansas to have that bye in midweek and then to turn around and lose a couple guys that couldn't play Saturday, I kind of like you. It's like with DJ Carter, depending on if that was in Gainesville or Tuscaloosa, for example. They have tried to play. I know Cal kind of commented we'll play off some of that, but that is pretty remarkable. And it's not to say that Arkansas will go the entire season remaining without back-to-back losses, but more than halfway through the season, that's a pretty good token you can have on your resume if you're John Calipari.
Well, got to keep it up. We've kind of broken down the schedule into 3-game blocks. We talked about that last week, but you're 1-0 in this first 3-game set. You need to be 3-0 in my estimate because you need to win on the road at LSU. That's a game that by metrics and by league standings and by records and by the last game, which was tough at home. What was it, a 4-point game? I believe
that sounds right.
Yeah. It was a closely contested battle at home against LSU. You need to do that. Then you owe Auburn one. Get through those 3. I don't say there's any breathing room, but then you go to Bama. I don't know if you can win that game. You get Missouri and A&M at home, and A&M after this weekend is looking more and more beatable. I think Arkansas will match up well. But, hey, one game at a time. Tomorrow night, late game at LSU. It's not going to be easy there either.
And Alabama, they beat Auburn on the road this weekend. I know Charles Bediako was a big part of that. Vanderbilt lost at home to Oklahoma, which is kind of weird. You mentioned A&M getting
Close
pounded.
there.
Pounded by Florida. Gators, again, best team in the league. That's going to be a really tough game at the end of this month. Right now, Arkansas sits tied with Texas A&M, who only plays Arkansas once this season at home in Fayetteville in the coming weeks on a midweek game. So a team that you'll be competing for a top 3. You heard Cal again talked about protecting the seed.
The game we're playing is we're protecting our seed.
That's not just for the SEC tournament. That's for the NCAA tournament. I'm going to keep hammering this point. St. Louis or Oklahoma City. Those are the 2 close venues for the first round. You don't want to go to Greenville or Portland or Tampa or Philly or Buffalo or San Diego. If you have an opportunity to get a high seed, you want to end up close to home and have a chance to see fans travel and make it easier on yourself, and then play in Houston or Chicago rather than the 2 off far site Sweet 16 Elite 8 venues.
And I don't know where they're all 8 at. It sounds like you do, but I don't know if the team feels that way or not. For the fans, you're right. That's the fans' perspective. Now, there may be some players on this team that do want to go to a region far away. If there's one close to Detroit or one close to New Jersey, there may be some players on this team that want to do that. But your point's well made in the fact that fans would be able to travel. You're playing your way closer to that, but there's still a lot of ball to play over these last 8 regular season games and a few in the tournament.
And you've got with the top 4 teams right now, the Razorbacks, Wildcats, Gators, and Aggies. Again, you've got 1 game remaining against Texas A&M at home, the other on the road against Florida. You've lost that tiebreaker, unfortunately, Kentucky. So you still have a chance to at least split one of these tiebreaker scenarios, or win them both, or lose them both, depending on how these A&M and Gators games shake out.
Like I said, 8 games. Can you go undefeated at home? That's half of them. That's why winning tomorrow night at LSU is so important, because I'm not counting on Alabama or Florida being a win. And I don't think that final game on March 7th at Missouri,
good point.
There's not going to be anything easy about that game at all. So 4-0 at home is not going to be easy considering who they are. But you need to really do that, and Auburn's going to be, in my estimate, maybe the most difficult matchup out of that group, even though you have A&M, and I know the record, but Auburn on Saturday, this Saturday the 14th, it'd be a sweetheart deal if you could win that game.
About that Missouri game that you referenced, Tommy, that game is also at 11 a.m. Before this past Saturday, since 2011 to 2012, the Razorbacks were 1-19 in true road games at 11 a.m.
Wow.
So history at 11 a.m. on the road is not good. So that Missouri game you mentioned at the end of the season is a big one too.
Wow. So need to take care of that. Speaking of games, if you want to get some single game tickets, still a few available for some of the remaining Arkansas games, plus single game tickets available for baseball. The Hogs open up February 20th at home against Xavier. The season opens this Friday. Get all your single game ticket availability online at ArkansasRazorbacks.com, or check them out online at SeatGeek.com, the official resale partner of the Arkansas Razorbacks.
Let's talk to Robert in Fort Smith this morning here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Robert, go ahead.
Hey, Tommy. A couple of years ago, Todd, and I'm going to go a little different. I'm going to go Super Bowl, but you made a comment about the Super Bowl going overseas. Last night, I think with the halftime show, I think you get the right country with the right amount of money, and I'm talking big money, not, so you're going to oversee Florida, Miami, San Francisco, L.A., any of those people. I think it would happen.
Yeah,
that's what we said,
I agree. I don't remember, like you said, a couple years ago, I was saying that, and I think it's more of a reality now that's ever been. You mentioned Los Angeles next year for the Super Bowl. I don't remember if they have the years placed out in the future, if it's just a 1 year out from when they pick it. But yeah, I think, I don't know, it's 26, maybe like in a decade we could see it, Tommy. I just think that's happening.
I mean, well, how many years? 10? Maybe. Maybe by then we'll see that. But, I mean, here's the thing we know. Nothing's staying the same in sports, in professional sports. And college sports is now professional sports. We do know that. So, that is for sure.
Well, have a good one, guys.
All right, Robert. I know Robert's fired up for baseball season Friday. Well, Robert's already gone. I was going to ask him if he was going down there. Robert's probably one of our best, most rabid Razorback baseball fans, so wouldn't surprise me at all if he was headed to Arlington for Oklahoma State, TCU, Texas Tech, and Tarleton State, all beginning Friday. They played late the first 2 days, then 2:30 and 2 o'clock. All those games on Flow Sports. If you want to see Arkansas down there in Arlington,
You gonna pay for that?
No, I won't be doing that.
I'll be watching the
I won't
highlights
be around,
and paying attention and then listening on the radio for
You
that.
won't even splurge for Peacock, though. So
Yeah,
you going? Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I didn't say I was going to do it. I asked you. I'm not gonna. Why would I pay for that? I had a little. Again, Fubu and NBC need to figure this out. It's not like I watch a ton of NBC programming outside of Sunday Night Football and the Super Bowl. But that was
how much is Fubu a month?
I couldn't even
too much
tell
if they
you.
can't get you the Super Bowl.
Yeah, they need to figure that out.
All right. That's where we're off and running. If you haven't downloaded the Hit That Line Now app, it's powered by Taco Bell. Whether you're craving something cheesy, saucy, or crunchy, Taco Bell has you covered. You can download it now. It's absolutely free. So even Ty has the Hit That Line Now app. He spends all of his money on golf, so he has no money to watch the Super Bowl. So we got him something free to listen to the radio station here, and it's the Hit That Line Now app. Powered by Taco Bell. Get it now in the Apple app or Google Play Store.
If it's free, it's for me. Cal reacts to the Arkansas win on the road. Coming up next, here your Hog
Streaming
Update.
live from
HitThatLine.com. And Isaiah looked really good today. He defended. He got 3 blocks. So now we found another play.
Acuff's going to lob it to Seeley. Isaiah roams the baseline and slams it home.
You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Few things in life are more important than showing up. Whether you show up for your family, friends, or teammates, it doesn't hurt to bring a plate of their favorite beef dish. Together, we bring more. Find your next crowd pleaser at BeefIt'sWhat'sForDinner.com. Brought to you by the Arkansas Beef Council, courtesy of BeefIt'sWhat'sForDinner.com. Tom Murphy is brought to you by the Arkansas Beef Council. Beef, it's what's for dinner.
Looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong? Call the Fence Man, 479-782-3936. Serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years, the Fence Man builds custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, and high security. Need automatic gates? The Fence Man does it. Need financing? You got it. 18-month financing is available. Get your free quote today at thefencemanar.com. Or call 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
At the Bet Saracen Sportsbook app, we realize lots of you have thought about opening an account, but you just haven't made that move yet. Well, now's the time with our new player offer. It's easy. You just sign up, use the code WELCOME, deposit at least $25, place a $25 bet, and that's it. Once that bet settles, you'll have $125 in free bets ready to go. Bet Saracen, the most popular sportsbook app in the state. Download it today on all your devices. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Now we got another guy on the rotation that, coach is starting to build confidence within. That's what we need.
This is The Morning Rush.
Take your tax refund the extra mile with a road-ready certified pre-owned vehicle at Rath Auto Resources. We've been working around the clock to beef up our inventory, and we're proud to say this is our best, largest selection of road-ready certified pre-owned vehicles ever. With so many to choose from, price to sell, and backed by comprehensive warranty, there's no reason to settle for less. Come see why your friends and neighbors voted us the River Valley's #1 pre-owned car dealer, and see why all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith.
Sometimes I'm in a hurry. Stay in the slow lane, buddy. That's when I use the Sodies app to order my favorites and pick up in their drive-thru. They even offer a 10% discount on your first app order. Experience different at Sodies Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodies.
Budweiser, the American lager. A time-honored recipe, true to our original process, brewed using the choicest hops, rice, and best barley malt, delivering great quality beer since 1876. Budweiser. This Bud's for you. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2024 Anheuser-Busch Budweiser Lager Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a snore guard. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Cold weather is tough on equipment. Frozen lines, slow hydraulics, unexpected breakdowns. Winter downtime costs money, but Sharp Equipment keeps your job moving. Get the equipment you need when you need it. Heavy equipment rentals, reliable repairs, and custom hydraulic hoses built fast. From on-site repairs to fast turn hoses and dependable rentals, we keep your projects moving no matter the temperature. Visit 3918 Pointer Trail East in Van Buren or call 479-649-0500. Sharp Equipment, we help you move more than just the world. We keep you moving forward.
Hungry for a deal? Blue Ember Smokehouse is firing up the pits with specials you can't resist all week long in 2026. Kick off the week with Nacho Monday, your choice of slow-smoked pork, chicken, turkey, or brisket piled high with all the fixins. Then keep the party going with Taco Tuesday. Grab brisket, pork, or chicken tacos starting at just $2.99. And that's just the start. Weekly specials can vary, so check your local Blue Ember for all the delicious deals we're serving up. Stop by and see us, or visit blueembersmokehouse.com. Blue Ember Smokehouse. Get smoked.
Hey, it's Phil Elson. James Teague with the Teague Law Firm is back for his 4th season on Halftime Fridays, 12:15. Baseball teams go through tough times, so do families. Teague Law Firm is ready to come out of the bullpen and help with guardianships, adoption, and child support. Sometimes we make the wrong pitch, but luckily, the Teague Law Firm is there. Criminal law such as traffic offenses and DWIs are right up their alley. 479-877-1688 to call James and the Teague Law Firm. Also online at teague-law.com.
He struck him out swinging. Winter has arrived, bringing frosty mornings, holiday travels, and unpredictable roads. That's why it's the perfect time to visit Southern Tire Mart. From top quality tires to expert service at competitive prices, we've got you covered. Visit our Fort Smith location at 9700 Highway 271 and let us prepare your vehicle for everything winter has in store. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Gage Wood, no hits him. Allen has a wide open man. It's Childs. He's loose. He scores. Childs, please.
Uncle Tommy loves the Razorbacks.
ARKNSAS.
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush.
Go Hog.
How about Isaiah? Hell yeah.
Getting prepared all week in practice, building that trust in Coach Cal and my teammates to be ready to come out here and perform.
I think Isaiah had only played like 11 minutes in SEC play thus far this season, ends up playing over 14, gives him 6 points, a few blocks, and just some valuable minutes from a guy that, again, we had talked about. It's like if there's an injury, like most college basketball seasons have during the course of a season, especially with a smaller lineup, he's going to be ready to go. And what I liked about him is like they zoned it at points during that basketball game, and he didn't really force anything. They was being left open for a reason. It's not his strength. And he just made the right play, and he attacked the rim, and he got in the fast break, and was fun to watch in a game that I know he was really looking forward to based on him getting prepped for this all week.
Never out of place on defense.
Yeah. Arkansas had 35 minutes of that game that they held the lead, and the final margin of 20 was their biggest lead of the game. There was never a lot of anxiety in this game. Last 30 minutes of this game was pretty easy to watch if you were a Razorback fan. So you didn't have to take some of the risk you're talking about. You could play a little more conservative in your approach. So yeah, it worked out pretty well.
And it wasn't just his performance that stood out. Trevin Brazile had a wonderful game. When you think about what he had, 7 of 12, knocked down 2 3-pointers, ended up with 19 points, 4 assists, and 8 rebounds. Nick Pringle with his highest rebounding total of the season. Colton, 11 rebounds. Billy Richmond. So he had 4 of your 5 starters in double figures, plus Nick gave you 6 and 11. So when guys needed to step up with DJ and Carter out, they absolutely did that this weekend.
Yeah, talking with Matt Jones on our Hog Reaction post game, he kind of reached the same thing. Was like became very obvious within the first couple minutes of the game that this is going to be a different type of game today. We're not going to have the full complements of our roster with Wagner and Knox, so somebody's going to have to step up. And you mentioned Seeley, and I said that he was always in the right place defensively. I felt like this was one of their better defensive performances. They were active the entire game. You saw Nick Pringle not only skying for defensive boards, but he was really good at grabbing him on the offensive glass too. So that's what you want to see, is just guys knowing that their backs are against the wall and having that, the mentality and the attack and the aggression that they should whenever they're in that scenario. So definitely really good. And the first time you won in Starkville since 2015. So really, really nice.
It's pretty wild over a decade. Cal's getting 22-1 against the Bulldogs and has never lost in the hump dump. So that's encouraging. Now, when it comes to what Arkansas has ahead of them, you've got a tougher back end of the schedule.
Yeah, the first 2 games on the back half are on the road. And here's the crazy thing. The home games we have, we could lose them all. I mean, they're all hard games. And I hate to tell you, the games on the road, you still got some teams on the road you got to play that are in like first place. And you got to go on the road to play. But that's what this is about.
That would be the Florida Gators that you'll play at the end of the month. All right, that is your Hog update this morning here on a Hot Take Monday.
And it's brought to you by Mock Legal Solutions in Arkansas and in Oklahoma. Jackie has over 13 years of experience dealing with car wrecks, slip and fall cases. If you found yourself in a fender bender during all the winter weather and the storms, or you've just found yourself in a car accident lately, be sure and get with Jackie Mock. First thing you do, call 911. Second thing you do is you don't say a word to anyone there other than giving them proper information, and you call Jackie at 479-769-1505 or go to mocklegalsolutions.com and let her help you deal with insurance companies and anything else that comes up with your car wreck or even personal injury cases as well. 479-769-1505 or go to mocklegalsolutions.com.
Let's talk to Kevin, who's in Rogers here in the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Kevin, good morning.
Hey, guys. Hey, Tommy, Ty, Colton, everyone. Thanks for getting me on real quick. I know you guys are running short. Ty, I hope your time in Texas golfing went well. Enjoyed the videos and stuff on social media. Happy that you're getting out there. Hey, a little bit about the game. I thought the biggest difference, I'm with Colton. I mean, say what you want about Mississippi State's record. Those guards they got are top 5 in the league paired up. I mean, they average close to 35, 40 points. We shut them down. I mean, Hubbard never went crazy. Our defense was the difference to me in that game. I mean, they did some different stuff. They were trapping, getting the ball out of Hubbard's hands, and I was really happy with that. Happy for Isaiah. He's obviously a talented kid. You obviously see the difference in talent from the other freshmen. I get that. You know, hopefully he sticks it out because he has talent and he can be a very big part of this program. He obviously needs to get in the weight room and stuff in the off season, which he hasn't had time to do yet. But you know, I could see him being, and everybody remembers the pain of the Texas A&M Aggies the last few years with Buzz. That Anderson Garcia was a similar player. Just play hard, run the floor, get rebounds, you know, and take your shots when you can get them. And, you know, I think we'll beat LSU. We played them once. We didn't play well. I think the guys will be ready to go. I mean, that's all I got, guys. I hope you have a great week.
Kevin, you have a great week as well. You mentioned the defense. You held Mississippi State to under 70 points. When you do that in an SEC game, more often than not, you're probably going to win, and that's what they did on Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, again, you know, I think they just outclassed Mississippi State. I think when you look at the last half of this schedule, guys, find me an easier game than what you played on Saturday. LSU won't be that easy. None of your home games will match up that well, and I think this was probably the easiest test you'll have, even with 8 more games to go. Mississippi State was the last of the lower bars to clear.
Yeah. All right, we'll see what they do tomorrow night against LSU. We got our Morning Rush Daily Question coming up here on a Hot Take Monday. Stay with us here on ESPN Arkansas.
live on your favorite radio station, hitthatline.com and the Hit That Line Now app.
Every game we're playing is we're protecting our seed.
The first win in the hump in 11 years for the Razorbacks.
You're listening to the Morning Rush.
Few things in life are more important than showing up. Whether you show up for your family, friends, or teammates, it doesn't hurt to bring a plate of their favorite beef dish. Together, we bring more. Find your next crowd pleaser at beefitswhatsfordinner.com. Brought to you by the Arkansas Beef Council, courtesy of Beef. It's whatsfordinner.com. Tom Murphy is brought to you by the Arkansas Beef Council. Beef, it's what's for dinner.
Looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong? Call the Fence Man, 479-782-3936. Serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years, the Fence Man builds custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, and high security. Need automatic gates? The Fence Man does it. Need financing? You got it. 18-month financing is available. Get your free quote today at thefencemanar.com. Or call 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
At the Bet Saracen Sportsbook app, we realize lots of you have thought about opening an account, but you just haven't made that move yet. Well, now's the time with our new player offer. It's easy. You just sign up, use the code WELCOME, deposit at least $25, place a $25 bet, and that's it. Once that bet settles, you'll have $125 in free bets ready to go. Bet Saracen, the most popular sportsbook app in the state. Download it today on all your devices. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Acup lobs it for Billy, and Richmond throws it down.
This is the Morning Rush.
Congratulations, you're officially part of the Crane Cash Winner's Circle. Feels good to celebrate those huge savings and all that extra Crane cash for your trade, doesn't it? With Crane, it's easy to feel like a champion.
That's because we'll beat any competitor's price. That's right. Bring us anyone else's deal and we'll beat it. Now that's winning. That's the Crane Team.
Find your winning deal at craneteam.com.
APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group has immediate openings in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you're a licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operator, electrician, diesel mechanic, have paving or concrete labor experience, or experience in a quarry, apply today at jobs.crh.com. APAC offers top pay, a sign-on bonus, benefits including insurance, retirement, and profit sharing. Apply online today at jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
At Arkansas Oklahoma Gas, we understand that cold weather months are about staying warm, keeping life running smoothly, and focusing on what truly matters. We also know that higher heating bills during this season can create stress, and we're here to help ease that burden. From a variety of payment options designed to fit your needs to assistance programs that provide extra support, our team is dedicated to helping you stay comfortable and worry-free all season long. Our customer care team is just a call away, or you can explore helpful resources online at aogc.com/winter. We're here for you this winter.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
Whether you're fishing for cold water bass on Beaver Lake or Table Rock, or fishing for a trophy brown trout on the mighty White River, the Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue will catch them. It has that famous rolling action whether it's fished extremely slow or worked fast in heavy current. This rogue suspends, so it will stay in the strike zone longer, allowing you to catch more fish. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Doe's Eat Place has been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years, and now they're offering smoked prime rib on the weekends. It's a limited supply, so get your reservations in early. Try one of their delicious appetizers or your choice of drinks from the area's largest selection of wine, beer, and liquor. Doe's Eat Place open Tuesday through Thursday 5 to 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended. Follow them on Facebook for more upcoming features and events. Call 479-784-9111 for Doe's Eat Place, 422 North 3rd Street in Fort Smith.
Harry Robinson Salisal Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisal Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisal Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisal.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Social Morning Rush Daily Question.
All right, you men. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer to the best of your ability.
It's going to be a quick answer to an incredibly terrible, long question.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Check out Nate and Kristen's Place in Lowell online at carpathsocial.com.
Well, I had this great question about last night's game, and the halftime all worked out, but Ty didn't watch the game last night. But I'm gonna carry on with the question. What'd you think of the halftime show?
I mean, I watched.
What did you think of the halftime show with Bad Bunny last night? That's the Cart Pass Social Morning Rush Daily
I
Question.
thought the end was good. Like the idea of people being brought together and we're all Americans is fine. I don't care for that. That music's not my cup of tea.
I didn't understand any of it because I don't speak Spanish.
Yeah,
so I mean, I didn't know what was going on.
That's my only problem. I just don't understand what they're saying, and they didn't they didn't take the time to do subtitles for all the things so you could understand what all the lyrics were. And I mean, he played his big hits. I mean, I thought it sounded good. The vibes were great. They always do cool props. They had the people in the bushes in the maze; those were actual people. I thought for entertainment value, it was fantastic.
How much of that was AI? There was a few things you could tell that just weren't normal. But, I mean, I guess I was as entertained as I could having a language barrier. So, I don't know. I mean, the language barrier was the big thing for me.
B says it was refreshingly different.
It was different.
That's a good outlook, B.
I to be honest, like the halftime show has never really appealed to me over the years. And they've had various different artists. I can't remember halftime show thinking to myself, man, I have to sit on my couch or sit around with friends and watch this. And again, the idea is to bring in not just the casual football fan. You're trying to bring in a new audience. I mean, it's no secret what Roger Goodell and company are trying to do to attract more people that wouldn't necessarily watch it. Ryan points out, like you said, couldn't understand it. It's whatever. Again, rare is it
well,
that
I mean, it's not. I mean, if you have a language barrier, that's kind of a big deal.
Rare is it that I enjoy the halftime show regardless. It doesn't matter if it's Bad Bunny or anyone else. It's just not that appealing to me. Doesn't matter really who.
It's never my kind of music.
Better than Morgan Wallen could have done.
Well, let's have some respect. Come on.
No, 100%.
What did you think?
I thought the choreography or the way he kind of worked through that maze, and it was different. But again, I didn't understand. First of all, I couldn't have told you a Bad Bunny song with gun held to head. But then, you're not bringing me under the tent when I don't understand any of the words. And like I said, no effort for subtitle at all. But it's what remained on the TV at halftime, got through it, and, moved on. It was not my all-time favorite, but mainly because I didn't understand a single word.
So, from a Super Bowl standpoint, when you combine the halftime show and that and the commercials, was there any good commercials that were on?
There were a few. I thought the one, and I don't even remember who it was. Who was it for that had Tom Brady in the end with Jennifer Aniston and had a bunch of big stars, Dunkin' Donuts. Okay. I thought that was pretty creative.
It was. They had a lot of face value in that one, but the big consensus online was that the majority of the commercials seemed to be for AI and crypto, and just that's what the society was no more. They had, of course, the Budweiser with the Clydesdale ad was really good.
Yes, with the Eagle.
They almost never miss.
I'd seen that prior to the
that
Super
one
Bowl,
That one leaked.
and they did a good job of that. And I looked this morning. I tried to watch some of them, and nothing stood out. I missed the old Dorito ones.
I didn't see a Doritos one. I didn't see a good one.
I thought of any company over the years that has captured my attention year in, year out. more often than not, it was Doritos.
There was a really good Michelob Ultra. I'm trying to remember. It was early. I'm trying to remember it. There was a good Michelob Ultra ad in there as well. But yeah, Anheuser-Busch rarely misses. And the one with the Clydesdale and the Eagle was really, really good.
All right, that is your Cart Pass Social Morning Rush Daily Question. Number one place for indoor golf in Arkansas. I know we got some rain coming this week. Well, if you still want to play golf, like I did this weekend, you do it at Cart Pass Social. They've got 10 TVs, great place that you can watch different sporting events here coming up, like Arkansas basketball and other various things. I mean, we got baseball. You got awesome things that you can watch at Cart Pass Social. It's always BYOB, and you can plan your next party, corporate event, and more at cartpasssocial.com. Just click on the events tab. 122 Grant Place in Lowell. Give Christian and Nate a call, 479-487-3622, or go to cartpasssocial.com. We go to the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Brian's in Ozark. Brian, fire away, man.
Hey, I've got a question and a comment. My first question is, how'd Hunter Henry wind up? I know his first half he looked like crap. But as far as the conversation on, what's his name, Bugs Bunny, Crap Bunny, whatever it was, that's considered the worst halftime entertainment of all. And no, it did not bring America together. That probably made it more divided because American football is for American fans. And if you can't understand what somebody's saying, hope to God he never shows up again. Have a great day.
I don't think that I don't expect them. They don't do repeats on halftime shows, do they?
I mean, he wouldn't do it again, but I mean, not just because he's.
I don't know if they have a policy against it, but generally generally the guys get too old to be attractive to the demo they're going after by the time you'd roll them back out for part 2.
And as far as saying Hunter didn't look good, he got laid out twice because of bad throws from Drake May.
I don't know what you're. The ball because his quarterback couldn't throw it to him. Because
the one early, especially.
You got a young. Listen, anytime that you have a young kid that's playing the biggest game of his life, more often than not, the veteran's going to win. It's weird calling Sam Darnold a veteran, but it's what, 5th NFL team now with the Seahawks. And they had. I mean, New England has a really good defense, but Seattle's defense is just unbelievable. So it's not Hunter's fault. It's not. Like, I don't know where that came from. I feel like you just have to, for whatever reason, Brian just has to slight a Razorback in any call that he gives or any text that he gives here. But they just didn't have it. Like, offensively, they didn't score a touchdown till the fourth quarter. And Seattle didn't either. That was what was the stat you listed earlier?
It was the second or third time ever in the Super Bowl that you went through 3 quarters with no touchdowns. So it was 12-0 at the end of the third quarter. So, from that standpoint, if you want 45-42 as your final, you weren't entertained. But if you like defense and quarterbacks being flushed and having to throw on the run and all of the things you saw in the game, if you appreciate good defense, you probably liked the game last night.
So outside of the basketball game, the Super Bowl this weekend, you did have the Olympic. Have you guys watched any of this?
Yeah.
What stood out?
Lindsey Vonn
being lifted by a helicopter.
That was tough.
Once again, that left leg has been undergone surgery at the hospital in Cortina, and she's now stable in the hands of both American and Italian physicians.
So she tore her ACL 9 days prior to her attempting that run last night. Well, I watched it last night. I think it actually occurred the day prior. How do you have an ACL tear and then you are going to do 1.5 miles of downhill at 70+ miles an hour?
What were you doing
9 days later? I need someone to help me understand that.
So there's you have a partial, and I don't know if it was partial all the way. I couldn't straighten my knee, and the whole idea it's the anterior crucial ligament, if I remember that correctly, nice. That it keeps your knee stable, and for her, like you said, to do what she does and compete the way she does. I was reading leading up to this, she was still going to try. And it's this to me feels like a Kevin Durant situation where he tried to play on that heel or whatever. And
she knew he was taking a risk.
Yeah, well, but the Olympics are different than anything else. You get one chance every 4 years,
and she's aging.
She's aging out.
Specialized sport,
I mean, it's not like, hey, we'll live to fight next year.
Yeah, no, you're right.
That's why injuries to an Olympian are so devastating. But I enjoy watching the downhill. Enjoyed watching that. That was on after the Super Bowl last night.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that you're going down that steep a slope at 70-plus miles an hour over that course, I mean...
Feel bad for her.
Well, and with Lindsey Vonn,
it was just a good watch, all of them.
it wasn't even her knee that was a problem with her crash. Her skis or her poles clipped that gate right there.
Well, her arm got hooked
Yeah.
in the gate, and that's what threw her balance off, and there was no recovery.
looked like
and
she
that was
was still
early.
steady.
It was early in the course.
Oh, it was like 10 seconds into the run.
Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah.
Broken leg. That's that you brought up something that is important. Like there's such a small window for an Olympian. We talk about people being at their peak or in their prime. Feel like that's like when we talk about with basketball players, football players, baseball players, that gap is narrowed to compete in athletic events in the Olympics. At least from what people that have competed will tell you. And so, kind of like you alluded to, like she felt like, man, I want to give this a shot. I commend her in the regard, like trying to persevere through injury, but now the aftermath and what she's going to have to deal with moving forward on recovery and everything else. Because an ACL, I know there's new ways to recover, but typically it's like a 6 to 9, if not 9 to 12 month recovery, and just feel bad for her, just what she's dealt with.
Have you been watching the Olympics? Call or text us. Lewis Automotive Group hotline open serving drivers since 1946 and built on a tradition of trust. That's the Lewis Automotive Group. I tried to watch curling on my Peacock app, which I have, by the way. The Super Bowl's on, then you could flip over to a different channel and had Best of Curling on there, but it had no curling.
What was it?
It had luge and some different.
Luge is awesome.
Luge was awesome,
cool.
but I mean, then it said it would be back in like 6 hours with more curling. But I wanted to watch a little curling.
Luge is so good because it really doesn't. There's training and stuff, but really, if you have the perfect shape, you're gonna do great. It's just about body shape.
And I was watching some. I think the best American finished 11th. That's just not a sport. We're
too fat as people, as Americans.
We're not going to do
We just
well
don't
in
have
that.
the
What is the now that you bring that up? What is the Disney movie? The Jamaican national
bobsledders,
team?
Cool
Yeah,
Runnings.
Cool
Yeah.
Runnings.
Yeah.
Thank you. I haven't seen that in a while.
John Candy.
Yeah, I want to watch
Rest
that.
in peace.
That also, when you speak about the Olympics, Phil was talking about this last week. I have not finished it. I fell asleep. It's really good. I was just really tired. The new documentary about the 1980 U.S. Olympic hockey team that's out on Netflix. I've watched probably 30, 40 minutes of it. It's phenomenal. And I got to go back and finish it, if not tonight, this week. But there's some stories in there. I thought Disney actually did a good job with the one in 2005 or 6, whenever Kurt Russell and they did that one. But there's some really good stories in there that I had not heard, and I felt like I'd done some research. I wrote actually a thesis paper on it my senior year, but it's some really good stuff that I had not heard about.
All right, so Olympics are underway. I'm sure you can find plenty of that available at the Oaklawn Sports app. Download it now. New customers get up to $1,000 in bonus bets. Each of the first 10 days, if your first bet doesn't work out, you get a bonus bet of up to $100 per day. And with the Olympics here right now, March Madness on the way, now is the time to take advantage of second chance bets. Plus, funding and withdrawing from your account with Oaklawn has never been easier. On-site cash there at the Oaklawn Sportsbook. You can do it with PayPal, Venmo, Apple Pay, your debit or credit card, and a lot of other ways to make it ACH. They make it really easy with the Oaklawn Sports app. So bet with a brand you trust anywhere in Arkansas. Bet with Oaklawn Sports.
Jay brings up that the mixed doubles curling for Team USA is coming up at 11, Tommy, so something to watch right after the show.
Do you have the Peacock app? Maybe we can log in
I
on
don't
that.
have it.
Few things in life are more important than showing up. Whether you show up for your family, friends, or teammates, it doesn't hurt to bring a plate of their favorite beef dish. Together, we bring more. Find your next crowd pleaser at beefitswhatsfordinner.com. Brought to you by the Arkansas Beef Council, courtesy of Beef. It's whatsfordinner.com. Tom Murphy is brought to you by the Arkansas Beef Council. Beef, it's what's for dinner.
Looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong? Call the Fence Man, 479-782-3936. Serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years, the Fence Man builds custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, and high security. Need automatic gates? The Fence Man does it. Need financing? You got it. 18-month financing is available. Get your free quote today at thefencemanar.com. or call 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
At the Bet Saracen Sportsbook app, we realize lots of you have thought about opening an account, but you just haven't made that move yet. Well, now's the time with our new player offer. It's easy. You just sign up, use the code WELCOME, deposit at least $25, place a $25 bet, and that's it. Once that bet settles, you'll have $125 in free bets ready to go. Bet Saracen, the most popular sportsbook app in the state. Download it today on all your devices. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Is it time for you to finally get the barn, hunting lodge, barn dominium, or garage you always wanted? Sutherland's is here to help. Hi, this is Jeremy, sales manager at Sutherland's. When you choose to work with us, you can expect top quality, expertise, and peace of mind, knowing that Sutherland's will do whatever it takes to get the building you've always wanted. For a free quote, call 1-800-66-BARNS. Free estimates at Sutherland's.com. For over 100 years, Sutherland's has been helping folks build it better. No matter the project, we're here to help. Because at Sutherland's, home starts here.
This is the Morning Rush.
With 10 extravagant indulgences for $3 or less, Taco Bell's new Lutz value menu makes you feel Lutz. As their official Lutziers, I help when it makes you feel too Lutz. Like when you eat the delectable new mini taco salad, you don't need a mini taco salad fork. The fork that comes in the bag is fine. Just like the beefy potato loaded griller isn't bruleed, it's grilled. Just as good though. Try Taco Bell's new Lutz value menu for $3 or less today. At participating Taco Bell stores while supplies last. Price of participation varies. Tax extra.
Basketballs bounce, cheerleaders cheer, and fans are flocking to the paint store in Van Buren. The paint store in Van Buren is known for their color matching. The paint store in Van Buren is known for their help with color selection. The paint store in Van Buren shares their expert advice from 35 years of experience. If you haven't been to the paint store in Van Buren, you are missing out. How about you give them a shout next time you need some real-life help you can't get on YouTube?
Take your tax refund the extra mile with a road-ready certified pre-owned vehicle at Rath Auto Resources. We've been working around the clock to beef up our inventory, and we're proud to say this is our best, largest selection of road-ready certified pre-owned vehicles ever. With so many to choose from, price to sell, and backed by comprehensive warranty, there's no reason to settle for less. Come see why your friends and neighbors voted us the River Valley's #1 pre-owned car dealer, and see why all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith.
The Solid Rock has been locally owned for over 46 years. When was the last time you were there? So much more than a bookstore. They have Christian t-shirts, church supplies, Bible studies, devotionals, home decor, gifts, and of course, a large selection of Bibles. And Bibles are engraved free of charge while you wait. Now, you can get custom laser engraving on select gift items and some Bibles. Located next to Sam's Club on South 74th, The Solid Rock is your source for faith-based books, music, clothing, and more. The Solid Rock, 452-4844.
Olympic gold medalists, world record holders, NCAA champions, and more. Watch the greatest track and field athletes in the world compete in Fayetteville for the 2026 NCAA Indoor Track and Field Championships, March 13th and 14th. Witness greatness as world-class athletes compete for an NCAA title right here on the world's fastest track located inside the Randall Tyson Indoor Track Center. Secure your tickets today at ArkansasRazorbacks.com.
Hey, it's Phil Elson. James Teague with the Teague Law Firm is back for his 4th season on Halftime Fridays, 12:15. Baseball teams go through tough times, so do families. Teague Law Firm is ready to come out of the bullpen and help with guardianships, adoption, and child support. Sometimes we make the wrong pitch, but luckily, the Teague Law Firm is there. Criminal law such as traffic offenses and DWIs are right up their alley. 479-877-1688 to call James and the Teague Law Firm. Also online at teague-law.com.
He struck him out swinging.
Are you ready to indulge in an unforgettable fine dining experience? Then come join us at Uncorked, where every meal is a masterpiece, crafted with the finest ingredients to tantalize your taste buds. And with our extensive selection of cocktails, wine, craft beer, and bourbons, we've got something for everyone. So why not take a break from the ordinary and join us on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodi's? Come savor the moment with us at Uncorked, where every visit is a celebration.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, lots of sunshine. Our high temperatures this afternoon will be right around the middle of 70s. We will see an increase in the cloud cover tonight. And overnight low will drop down low to mid 50s. A chance of a stray shower or two on Tuesday, otherwise clouds. Highs on Tuesday in the lower 70s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
This weather information is brought to you by The Solid Rock, your source for inspirational gifts, home decor, women's boutique items, personalized Bibles.
KERX Paris Fort Smith, broadcasting live from the Busch Light Studios. This is the Morning Rush. This hour of the Morning Rush is powered by Busch Light. Busch Light, the coldest and smoothest light lager there is.
Kalani's the running back. To him. To the inside. Touchdown. And they bring a pressure as well. And as Witherspoon came under pressure. It's going the distance for a touchdown. That will do it. Seattle reigns above the ball in the NFL. The Seahawks, Super Bowl champions for the second time.
Live from the Busch Light Studios. Produced by Colton Little with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft. This is the Morning Rush.
All right, so if you missed hour number one, brought up earlier in the show that I did not watch the Super Bowl live last night. Lee in Springdale brings up a great point here on our Lewis Automotive Group hotline that could have just used an antenna, being that the game was on NBC. Do people still have those
I
at
got
their
one.
house? Do you? Just as
I
a
don't think
backup
you'd have
plan?
picked it up, though. Their transmitter's Northwest Arkansas, so I don't think you would have picked it up at your house.
Okay,
But
well, good to know. So I guess it missed either way.
I guess all the restaurants were closed that have TVs.
I just didn't want to leave my house. I mean, I had plans to go to a party yesterday and elected not to. I was tired, and again, the Super
Do you
Bowl.
want to use my Peacock account for future in case you need it?
Well,
for a
I
big
thought I had
NBC
it set
event?
up. I signed up for a Walmart Plus, and turns out the Walmart Plus account only comes with a version of Peacock that does not have live.
See, mine came with Paramount when I got the free.
You get to choose.
You get to choose.
get
Well, you didn't,
Paramount.
but you didn't then. I got Paramount though.
Okay, well,
with
they've
mine.
now got it to where you can choose. So now I have to cancel the Walmart Plus account. That's free. Otherwise, I'll get charged $10.95 in the month of March. And I also need to cancel.
That's kind of like having Prime. That's well worth $100
Really?
a year. Oh yeah.
I don't ever. I
They
go to
deliver
Walmart-
your groceries to your house for free.
I don't.
That's awesome.
I go to Walmart once a month. To me, it's not worth $11. I'd rather buy.
Well, no, you buy the annual at $100,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're just done with it.
You never have to go to Walmart at all. It just comes
No,
to
you never have to go to the store
kinda like-
and deal with all the people in pajama
Wait,
pants.
don't you always complain about them not getting the right kind of meats, or like you want to go to select what you're?
Well, I don't buy a lot of. I'm not buying a hand cut ribeye there. But I mean, if I need a box of cereal or a bag of pretzels or something, they generally can handle that. You know.
Well, you were talking about getting your steps in earlier. I want to get my steps in. I want to travel to and from to get my steps in. That's why I'm doing it.
He's a bag of excuses, isn't he?
That's not a bag of
You know.
excuses. It's just a bag of reasons. It's not excuses.
Well, I mean,
it's
you're
reasons.
supposed to be a real sports radio man. A real sports radio man.
A real sports radio man was honest.
Watches the Super Bowl
with the public this morning. It's not appealing. It wasn't whether you could talk about the halftime show, you could talk about the game itself. I got what I needed to watch in the 25-minute highlight clip that the NFL put out this morning. I got up early.
First
the
he
alarm
goes
was set.
golfing. The past 2 years
Yeah.
during the Super Bowl. Then he just shows up and says, "You know what? I didn't even watch it." That's
I watched
pretty
it.
cavalier
I
attitude.
watched it last year. I just chose not to this year. You had one major Razorback featured. I found out, I guess, this morning there was an old equipment manager here that's now working for the Pats, which is kind of
Well, see, there's another reason right there, an equipment manager.
Yeah, so it just wasn't. It wasn't much, and honestly, it wasn't that great of a game either. I don't feel bad here on the Hot Take Monday. I don't feel bad at all, or feel like I missed out not watching the Super Bowl.
I don't even know who you are anymore. 782-3936. That's the fence man's number. You can call if I live next door to Ty. How high would the fence need to be, Colton?
Probably 12, 15 feet.
Razor
something
wire.
That's unscalable, yeah.
Yeah, electric hooked up to it, so that way if you tried to climb the fence, maybe you get a little shock. If Ty tried to climb over the fence. I'd wait till he got right on top and then hit the button to turn it on when he was straddling the top of the fence.
Right
But
tie.
782-3936 or thefencemanAR.com. Seriously, if you need residential, commercial, industrial, or high-security fencing, that's what the Fenceman does, and they specialize in all kinds. If you go to their website, thefencemanAR.com, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about, from powered automatic gates to aluminum fencing, wood privacy, chain link fencing, to the 12-foot tall security fencing with a razor wire. They can do all of that for you. 782-3936, the Fenceman. He ain't afraid of no work.
Couple texts here before we get to Ryan's call. Mike from the 479, he slept through the Super Bowl as well. Doesn't consider it a big loss. Mike, you're on my side. Thank you, Mike. Gavin says, Ty, we are the same age, and I can only aspire to be as cheap as you are. Someday I'm just frugal. Zach in Ozark says there was no Taylor Swift there. That's the real reason.
Frugal says the man that was on a golf getaway all weekend.
You spend money on things that matter to you.
Hey, are you a
golf,
professional golfer now?
No, I'm still horrible. I shot 100. I shot 108 on Saturday, and I nearly broke my.
Yeah,
driver.
he's going to tell people about golf. That's
just
amazing.
Telling the experience and whatnot. I don't know why you're thinking that's a bad thing. It's fun. You want to experience.
I just think it'd be a better thing if you took me with you. That's what I think. I think it would be a better thing if I went along for the ride.
These were some tough courses. I'll say this.
Well, yeah, if you shot 108, I'd say
that wasn't that tough. That was the worst round I played. Well, no, second worst round. The other one was at another place. But there was this incident this weekend in the Waste Management Open. This tool named Jack Doherty, who's a YouTuber, paid someone $100 to yell during a guy's backswing. He's now kicked out of not just Waste Management, but any upcoming PGA events for the foreseeable future. There are elements of golf, like when we talk about growing the game or whatever. Like, I'm not a good golfer, but I enjoy playing it. And that's like an element you want to grow the game for guys that aren't that good. But there's also some decorum. There's also some respect level and stuff. And there was a few times. Like,
not a lot of it, though, in Scottsdale.
And, well, like Hideki Matsuyama, like there was, 2 times that someone was shouting, one on a putt, one in his backswing on 18. I'm just thinking to myself, like, you clowns. I hope they got tossed. I hope they got yeeted out of the event. Again, I'm not the most respectful person in the world, but I do understand in certain times in society or certain sport events when to shut my mouth, and that was a little frustrating to see that happen.
We were actually late to the party. We made it by the coin toss, but we missed the national anthem last time because we were watching the playoff with the Waste Management.
Did Scotty come back? I know he was trying.
He made a run yesterday, shot a 64, but was short of making the playoff. In fact, Getter Up, or one of them, got in there at 16 under, a stroke ahead of him, so he wasn't even the clubhouse leader before it went to a playoff at 17 under. Then Matsuyama puts it in the water on the 18th hole in the playoff.
The guy
that pretty well ended it.
Yeah, the guy that won it looks like Brooks Koepka, which is kind of funny. That is an event that I'm very happy that I attended. It was a lot of fun.
I'd like to go play that course. Number one, that'd be fun. It's a TPC course. I don't know what it costs to get on there, but you can get
arm and a leg.
It can get on there, but do they leave the stadium around the 16th annual? Does that stay up all year, or does it come back down?
The grandstands come down, like when they have different events, unless it's different at other places. The grandstands, you can play it prior to.
Right, I just meant on the 16th. Does it? I
think they take them down.
Because
based on pictures and videos that I've seen, and based on buddies that played it at a certain time of year, they said they weren't up. So they might be up for a long duration, but at least
I think by the time you took that whole massive structure down, it'd be time to put it back up again.
Put it back up again. No, that's a good point. All right, let's go to Hot Springs where our buddy Ryan is waiting. He wants to talk some Arkansas basketball after a 20-point win over MSU, and baseball gets going on Friday. What's up, Ryan?
Well, I wanted to point something out to you, too. You know Kevin Richardson's also on the coaching staff for the Patriots, too, right?
Didn't know that.
Yes. In fact, he was I'm pretty sure he was in the booth last night, up there with the OCs and such. Well, anyway, man, that was a good win this weekend. Also wanted to talk about hockey, too, for the Olympics. But while y'all were talking about Miracle, that's got to be one of the most underrated sports movies out there. I mean, they took the original call from Al Michaels there at the end of the thing. It was just awesome. Great cast. Kurt Russell was awesome in that movie like he is everything else. And then every time I get on TikTok, they've got a little hype thing for the hockey and Olympics. You got John Hamm. He's like, "What do I want?" And it's one of the Tuck brothers going, "Canadian Tears." I'm just like, "Yeah, let's go." But back to the baseball thing. I'm ready to see what this team can do, and I'm pretty excited about it. And ready to listen to Phil call a game and do some fishing.
That's a slew of good things to look forward to this weekend. I listened. So DVH had his community college jersey retired, McClellan, yesterday, which was kind of cool. Listen to him. Was that Pictorial Nation last week that he was on, Colton? Or maybe it was just a press conference of sorts, but just kind of listening to him, how the season ended. Just kind of we had so many things that happened during the course of that game at LSU at the tail end, and while there's a lot of guys not here, Davalon, Aloy, and others, you still got like Kojal's back, Beheva's brother, Cahillo's back. You still got a decent amount of guys from last year's team.
Well, you better be ready to go watch some games, because after you get back from Arlington, you play your first four, the 13th through the 16th. There's a Monday game on the back end with Tarleton State. Then you play 18 straight at home, which includes Mississippi State towards the back end of that. You get 3 on the road at South Carolina, and then you're back home for 4. So like 22 of the next 25, half your season more or less, is at home between February the 20th and March the 29th. So what does that mean? Means there's not as many home games on the back end. So you better be ready to get to the ballpark for that for the Mississippi State and the Florida series on the back end of a long homestand, 22 of 25 games at home, including 18 in a row after this weekend.
We have the intersection when basketball and football intersect, depending on the exhibition, late October, and actual games themselves in November. This is also a fun time of year for Razorback fans when you have the start of baseball, and they start right now. I know some of you wish they started at Bob Walker Stadium, but when you take on, Oklahoma State is traditionally a really good baseball school. You're taking on some Southwest Conference foes. That place is going to be rocking with Razorback fans this weekend. My brother and several friends go every year. They live in Dallas, and it's just a fun event. We have several listeners that make the trek down there. You start it right. And then, like you said, that 18-game homestand where you have those opportunities to get some non-conference wins, pad the resume, and then SEC play as well. So
Xavier, A-State, UT Arlington, Oral Roberts, Stetson, before you start conference play. So those are the teams you'll be seeing. So I've already had people asking about tickets and availability and when the first game at home is. So that's kind of gives you a little bit of of a look at it. And once you get through this weekend, SEC Network Plus will kick in. So at least if you can't get to the ballpark, you can watch it. Flow Sports, Flow College, good luck. Hope it works for you.
Make sure to cancel it, kind of like I got to do with this Walmart Plus and Peacock situation this week. But and we talked about frustrating. Like, I wish they would actually put them on a channel instead of. They only got 7 televised games for the baseball team, which I think is kind of annoying. And that's not any shot to Brett Dolan or Troy Eklund or Rick, because I like Brett a lot. And I have enjoyed Troy being a part of those broadcasts now. I just want them on television. Like, if you want to keep the same broadcasters, just put them on television. That's just an annoyance of mine. I feel like I'm 31 and young, and all the streaming stuff, it's just kind of it's more of a nuisance than anything.
There's a few. Some conference games. Their first on linear TV, as you're talking about, is March 14th, Friday, against Mississippi State. So, but I think we've all gotten accustomed to how to get the app on and how to push the right buttons. And one thing that annoys me, and maybe I should save this for Wednesday, What's Your Beef Wednesday. They know your IP address, right? They know that where you're geographically located. Why do you always have to make the Arkansas game seemingly the last one I've got to scroll over to find?
That's a great point.
And it's regardless of sport. It's never like the first 2 or 3. They know where I'm logging in from, so let's just put the sports that are maybe regionally more aligned with where I'm at, closer to the front of the search.
But you got to go past like Sacred Heart versus Cal Poly to get to Arkansas.
And that's a good game. That's one of the better games you have to scroll past.
Go super far.
Yeah,
that's a great point. I don't understand it either. That doesn't make a lick of sense to me. It should be the first one that appears when you're getting on.
How about
Muldrow versus Ulagal on there?
It's my ESPN account. They're my favorite team.
Yes.
They're on my
I've got them listed.
What in the world?
I still got to flip all. It's seeming you got to go through 20 or 30 games till you find it.
Well, you don't have to do that tomorrow night when Arkansas takes on LSU in Baton Rouge, 8 o'clock SEC Network. You took down Mississippi State. Colton, you had a great stat. Arkansas was, 1-19?
1-19 since 2011.
Was that Hogstats that had that? Okay.
Always, of course.
Thank you, Hogstats.
2011 and 2012, they were 1-19 in true road games at 11 a.m.
So some positive things from the game in Starkville. Arkansas, once again, single-digit turnovers. You knocked down 8 of 22 from the three-point line. You out-rebounded a tough Mississippi State team, and you had 7 more assists. The Razorbacks are now 12-0 this season when they've averaged 20 or more assists, and they're 23-0 under Cal while shooting at least 50% from the field. 4 guys in the starting lineup in double digits. Darius Acuff with another outstanding game. Trevin Brazil kind of had one of those games that you've talked about, him kind of picking up a little bit. Billy Richmond with another solid game. First time they started Billy, Malik, TB, Pringle, and Darius in the starting lineup this season. And you just look at up and down. Even Nick gave you 11 rebounds in the starting role. You only played 7 guys. Cal talked about that after the game, kind of a shrinking lineup. You did see kind of something unique. So Cal has had really big, large teams in the past before, especially in Kentucky. Pringle was talking about him, Malik Ewan, and TB being on the floor at the same time.
It's something we've been working on a lot. It really shrinks the floor a lot. I mean, we're really big, we're long. There's some skill guys at the 3 and 4. So I mean, it's really a kind of a cheat code of a lineup once we start, figuring it out, the type of plays we're going to run in it, the defense. I think it's going to be great, honestly, just to have that other lineup to throw in the team, especially, maybe Florida, like other big teams that we have to face this year.
And he pointed out something that I think has been discussed, or at least alluded to. Like when you play the Florida Gators best front court in college basketball in the coming weeks, I don't know if you necessarily have to do that against Alabama and Charles Bediako or the 2 games this week, but you're going to have some size out there. Arkansas has some good athleticism, and I wonder, will you see more of that Ewan Pringle TB combo at some points when you go a team like Florida? It is nice for Cal that you at least have that option to go to. You want DJ and Carter back as quickly as possible. Don't know what their status. Well, actually, I do. He said it's TBD as far as tomorrow night goes, but that was kind of a unique player you hadn't seen to the season at this point.
Well, and we knew there'd be a point where someone was injured or unavailable for whatever reason, and you'd have to work around it. And that was my concern before the game when I listened to Chuck and talking about Knox and Wagner unavailable for that day's game. It's not the fact that you can't plug them in, but it's the lack of depth. You already play with about 8 players. You knew Sealy would probably be the next one. Mm-hmm. What if someone fouls out, gets injured? That game didn't require you to go any deeper, but there's not going to be any other matchups that I think are as favorable as what you saw Saturday. So keeping everybody healthy and together when you got already a short bench, you got 8, I don't know, how much Sealy's going to get a chance against the better teams in this league. They got through this one okay. They were fortunate.
The only one is probably tomorrow night against LSU, who only has 2 conference wins. Mississippi State has 3. But when you look at the remaining teams on your schedule, the worst team that you have remaining is Auburn at 5-5. So every team that you'll play from here on out is 500 or above in conference play. You get Auburn at home this weekend. You get LSU on the road. I'm talking with the exception of LSU. And again, what you're set up for your top 4 right now in the SEC. Florida's on top at 8-2. They smacked Texas A&M at home this weekend. The Aggies are sitting with you at 7-3, and then Kentucky's a game ahead of you thanks to their win in Bud Walton Arena 2 Saturdays ago. So you're very much in line to potentially be a top 4 seed. You'd love to win 2 this week against LSU and Auburn to get you set up for what's going to be a tough back end of conference play.
You're right where you want to be. You're second place in the league after Florida and A&M played. So Florida's at the top of the pile. We'll go over our Pradco Pyramid of Power tomorrow, but I think it's pretty easy that Florida's going to be number 1. But Arkansas's got to be up there right now. And are you a little less, as you've watched A&M lose 3 games now in league play, and as they've played better competition, they've lost to, let's see, Tennessee, Florida, who was the one in the middle? Alabama. So, as they played the better end of the league, they haven't fared nearly as well. Mm-hmm. So A&M is a lot more vulnerable than maybe we first thought.
You mentioned,
and maybe one of the reasons they haven't been highly ranked in the net rankings, and they haven't been ranked highly or ranked at all, really, in the polls.
You mentioned kind of what the lineup looks like with two guys going down. As far as tomorrow night, hey, what's the status look like? Here's Cal after the game on DJ and Carter.
And then do you expect them to be ready? I haven't talked to anybody, so they will they play? When's our next game? Tuesday. I don't know. They're probably questionable, I would say, for Tuesday.
I don't think you have to have both those guys to get a win tomorrow night. I think it's going to be a little closer than what you had on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll say as far as Isaiah goes, like he plays 14 minutes. He's now got, I think, like 25 minutes in SEC play on the season. This is good for him just in case. Like that foul trouble you alluded to, if it's a tightly called game or the NCAA tournament or a conference game down the stretch and that 8-man rotation gets stretched to 9, you at least have some confidence if you're John Calipari. It's like, we can play this guy in spot minutes in an SEC game. Does that mean he's going to explode for 10 and 15? No. But at least you have more confidence in him than you did prior to Saturday.
Well, and I was watching Coach Cal's TV show last night, and he spoke to that in the locker room in front of the team that, in pointing to Sealy, who was sitting there, that, hey, this is a great opportunity for you, and basically everything you just said, that it's a confidence builder for him and for Sealy, that if he gets a chance, and he took advantage of it, so he was pointing that out in front of his team before they left the locker room there in Starkville. Hey, what's the play this Valentine's Day? At ESPN Arkansas, we can lead you to a score. Go to hitthatline.com and register to win a pink sapphire and diamond necklace from Swift's Jewelry and gift cards from Cupid's Lingerie, Gregory Jewelry, and Joshua's Fine Jewelry. We've got you covered all over the natural state. Our featured partners are Swift Jewelry in downtown Fayetteville and Cupid's Lingerie in northwest Arkansas. Make this Valentine's Day unforgettable. Whether it's diamonds, stunning ruby jewelry, or your ready to pop the question, Swift's Jewelry in downtown Fayetteville has the perfect gift that she'll treasure forever. Make it unforgettable with Swift's Jewelry and a Cupid's Lingerie. Turn up the romance this Valentine's Day with Cupid's Lingerie in Fayetteville, Springdale, and Bentonville, or online at shopcupids.com. No purchase necessary. Register once a day, plus earn other entries by following our social media accounts. The winner is going to be announced on halftime this Friday, February the 13th. Go to hitthatline.com/Valentines to register. That's hitthatline.com/Valentines.
SEC update. We talked about some games this weekend. We'll get more into that and more from John Calipari after the win against Mississippi State. More Super Bowl stuff. Plus, there was a crazy finish on Tobacco Road between North Carolina and Duke and the aftermath of that. All that's coming up on the Morning Rush.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive hotline at 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive, serving drivers since 1946 and built on a tradition of trust.
And the way we played the first 8 minutes of the game, that's what we need every game.
This is the Morning Rush.
All white chicken meat breaded in tortilla chips. They're Taco Bell's crispy chicken nuggets. Pretty different than the nuggets you're used to. Haters will say, but that's not the classic nugget. Haters are right. Haters will love them anyways. Oh, and they come with Hidden Valley Ranch, another classic. But we mixed it up with Diablo. They can't hate that. I mean, they can, but they won't. Crispy chicken nuggets from Taco Bell. A brand new classic. At participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time only while supplies last.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Mark your calendars and save big at the Greater River Valley RV Show going on February 12th through the 16th at Crabtree RV Center in Alma. Special show pricing and financing available on all units, new or used. Come and see our large inventory of industry-leading brands such as Grand Design and Forest River. Take advantage of the huge savings at the Greater River Valley RV Show at Crabtree RV Center, February 12th through the 16th. Crabtree RV Center, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
Get ready for Mudbug Mayhem.
The Crawfish Festival, that's a true celebration of community, family, and culture. Join us March 7th at Chaffee Crossing Historic District for Cajun-inspired food, live music, local vendors, and a sizzling crawfish cook-off. Check out the car show, the cornhole contest. There's activities for all ages, and you can make memories with friends and family. Don't miss the fun. Mudbug Mayhem Crawfish Festival, March 7th. It's free to get in. Learn more at mudbugmayhemfest.com.
Want pavement protection that goes the distance? Seal-Tite of Oklahoma now offers Rhino-Tite Premium Asphalt Emulsified Sealant, the next level in driveway and parking lot care. Healthier for the environment, Rhino-Tite delivers superior defense against weather, UV rays, and wear and tear. With its high solids content, you'll get a smoother, stronger, longer-lasting driving surface. Whether you're a do-it-yourselfer or a contractor buying in bulk, Seal-Tite has the products and support you need. Visit SealTiteOklahoma.com today and protect your pavement with Rhino-Tite.
Wave Rural Connect has some exciting news. Our service is now available in a brand new zone covering parts of Midland and Montreal. If you're along Highway 45, 252 or 253, or on Douglas Road or Slaytonville Road, you can get fast, reliable fiber internet today. Don't miss out. Visit waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Wave Rural Connect. Internet that works when you need it most.
Ace has always been the helpful place, and now we're even more helpful by offering instant savings to Ace Rewards members. Not a member? Just sign up at Metters Lumber Ace Hardware and start saving right at the register. Right now, save $30 on select DeWalt 20-volt max tools or $20 on select Ego outdoor power equipment after instant savings with your Ace Rewards card. Ace, the helpful place. Must be an Ace Rewards member to receive instant savings. Available through the end of the month. See participating stores for details.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
The SEC is the best conference in America.
The tough will survive in this game, and I feel like the SEC is the toughest.
Arkansas is the SEC champion.
You know, every game is a dogfight. We're about the toughest there is. Week in and week out, you're going to play some of the best, the biggest, the fastest.
The Hogs have finally held the first SEC tournament championship for Arkansas.
Where opponents' dreams come to die.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush.
Middle of the floor, Thomas knocks it away. Loose ball, Malik comes out of there with it. 4 seconds, 3 seconds. Acuff, three-pointer, good. Acuff at the horn knocks down the three. The Razorbacks force their 9th turnover of the first half, and it leads to a buzzer-beating three-pointer.
Is there a better closer in the Southeastern Conference than Darius Acuff Jr.? I think you can maybe make a case LeBaron Philon for player. I don't think many Arkansas fans would hear that, and I don't blame you based on watching Darius game in, game out, who goes for 20-plus, 8 assists. Once again, Arkansas rarely turns the ball over, only 7. But, I mean, you just want the ball in his hands. End of half, end of games, he comes through, and once again to give him some momentum heading into half after that turnover Saturday.
Big three there and a lift, and I don't want to say he's a dagger for Mississippi State, but, I mean, when something like that happens right at the horn, that's just a little less to be positive about going into your locker room. That's a little bit less for you to feel like, all right, we got them on the ropes here a little bit. You know, you always talk about the last 4 minutes and the first 4 minutes of each half, or the last 4 of the first half, first 4 of the second half, and how you can swing momentum. That helped a lot, I think, probably seeding doubt a little bit more with State.
And speaking of seeding, Cal's echoed this message on radio and the television show, and I think also on the post game.
Every game we're playing we're protecting our seed.
Heard him say that several times. So that seed is talking about, I would guess, I'm inferring the SEC tournament where right now you're top 4, you get 2 byes Wednesday and Thursday, and Arkansas in the NCAA tournament. The Razorbacks are going to the postseason, barring a just complete collapse. That's happening. Now it's just a matter of how high can you go? How high can you get? Theoretically, Arkansas can still win the Southeastern Conference. I don't think it's going to happen. If you played Florida at home, I might feel a little differently, but the fact that you have to go to Gainesville for that game, just don't feel that confident. Maybe this team can show me a little something here in these next few weeks. Winning against Alabama next Wednesday would be a big deal. But that's the message that's being preached right now in the locker room. And this team, if they continue to not just protect home court, but win a game or two on the road here in the coming weeks, they're going to be postseason bound.
Yeah, and you'd like the rest in the SEC tournament. The double bye provides you the rest that your legs need at that point in the year. So that's the big deal with finishing in the top 4 in the regular season.
As far as games go this weekend, one of the surprises being in Nashville, Oklahoma goes to Vanderbilt, wins by 1. Didn't expect that outcome. Florida demolishes Texas A&M 86-67. That game I said earlier was in Gainesville. It was actually, in College Station. Kentucky beats Tennessee for the second time this season. Kentucky really starting to round into form. They've won 3 straight. Missouri goes to South Carolina and gets a 19-point victory. Texas beats Ole Miss. Auburn falls to Alabama at home, and then LSU loses again, this time to Georgia. Tigers sitting at 2-8, lose to, again, Georgia this weekend prior to their game against you tomorrow night.
Looking at net rankings that were updated last night following play, Arkansas is now the 5th ranked team. They've dropped a spot in the SEC, but stayed the same in the net rankings. Florida atop, as you would expect, 9th nationally. Vanderbilt at 14, Tennessee at 21, Bama at 23. Then the Razorbacks at 26th, Kentucky at 28, kind of rounding out the top 30. Auburn's just outside of that. You look at LSU, road game, top 75. LSU ranked 58th, so another chance for a quad 1 win when Arkansas goes on the road to Baton Rouge tomorrow night.
Yeah, you like that you have some games that'll be quad 1s down the stretch, not just several games that can help boost your ranking and get you up. What is the seed ceiling for this team? Like a 3? Like if they win the, like, again, I don't expect them to win the Southeastern Conference. I could be proven wrong on that. That might get you 1. It just kind of depends on where it falls. But I feel like a 3 is the ceiling of this basketball team heading into March. What do you guys think?
I think if you finish second in this league and probably get to the SEC tournament finals, 3 would be maybe the number 1-3 seed might be your ceiling. I expect this team to be a 4 or 5 unless they collapse. What's Joey Brackett saying right now?
I have not
said a 5 most.
5.
Okay, and that's, again, you got room to climb. Arkansas is now playing in the conference that last year was the best in the league. It's not, or best in college. It's not this year. Big 12 is. If you watch those games, you watch where those teams rank. Arizona, Kansas, Houston. Big 12 is the best conference in college basketball. SEC is probably second. You can make, I guess, an argument for the Big 10. And I know the ACC, Duke, and North Carolina are better this year. But you're not the number 1 team or conference in college basketball this season.
If net ranking matters, and I believe it does, it's not everything, but it's a big thing. Mm-hmm. South Carolina's at the bottom. Mississippi State, Ole Miss, Oklahoma are the bottom 4. You've played them all. You don't play them again.
Yep.
Missouri's at 62. You play them twice. So winning against Missouri at home and on the road, important. LSU's tomorrow night. A&M's at 39. There's a big line of demarcation in this league. It's from 39 at A&M, and then it drops to 58 with LSU's the next spot. So it's easy, if you were going to, in golf terms, flight this conference, this one, that would be the easy natural break would be after A&M. So if you look at, who's likely to go from this league, well, you pretty well have your answers at the bottom right now. So, all right, that's your SEC update this morning. It is brought to you by WT Equipment. Get this year rolling during the Value Bonanza at WT Equipment. The savings are big. If you've been thinking about upgrading your tractor, now's the time. You can get 0% financing for 72 months on New Holland PowerStar mid-range tractors. 65 to 100 PTO horsepower. That's the strength, the comfort, and the reliability you need, and perfect for everything from wide open fields to tight barnyards. And it doesn't just stop there at WT Equipment. They have year-end class deals with a lot of tractors, hay tools, construction equipment, and a lot more. So whether your operation needs something new They've got it right now during the value bonanza going on at WT Equipment. You can find them right now at WTEquip.com or see them in Springdale. That's WTEquip.com.
Missed the ACC. You had the Tobacco Road game between North Carolina and Duke this weekend in the Deke Dome. I feel like Duke, more often than not, finishes those games with buzzer beaters. Well, the Tar Heels finally got one to go this weekend.
Into Dixon. Boozer switches onto him. Dixon the kick. Trimbo! Got it! Carolina wins it!
Yeah, you had a battle of two of the best freshmen. We've already seen Darius Acuff go up against some outstanding freshmen and really college basketball players this season. But you had Boozer and Wilson going back and forth, which was a great game. And Duke led almost the entire game until the final 0.4 seconds. When
they
North
led
Carolina
till they didn't, right?
Yeah, until they hit that shot. Now, the aftermath, so Carolina storms the court. Now, help me on this. Isn't that a technical foul if they storm the court before the game's over?
If you interrupt the game.
What interrupted? Like mid-possession?
Stops.
Okay.
The clock stops, so you
All
didn't
right.
interrupt the game.
Well, John Shire was...
And it would be very unfair to decide the outcome on a technical foul of that nature because the fans ran.
I saw
the
Duke
floor.
fans pushing for that, and I figured there
Well,
was
of
a
course.
narrative
Of course.
that I hadn't noticed or a part of the rule that's why I
But
asked
the
you.
clock technically it does stop in the final minute of play, so you haven't actually interrupted live play.
Okay. Mike also points out the whole team left the bench. That's what he feels like should have been awarded a tech. It wasn't just the fans. Now, John Shire, former Duke Blue Devil, their current head coach, had this to say after the game.
Any questions about the game? For me, it's hard to talk about the game when I was most concerned just for the safety of our players after the game. Like, I don't want to make it about that because Carolina, they played a great game to win, and that's a heartbreaking loss for our team. I got staff members that got punched in the face. My family pushing people away, trying to not get trampled. And that's not what this game is about. And you give them all the credit in the world. It's not about the game. But obviously that was a scary ending. And this rivalry is not about that.
Court stormings result in fine. I don't know what the ACC policy on that is. Again, the fines have gone up heavily in the Southeastern Conference. I watched the stuff. You had water bottles being thrown at the Duke players during the game. I know there's incidents that happen after the game and whatnot, and not just in this rivalry, but several others. It's an unfortunate part of a court storming or a field storming or anything like that. And I know that Greg Sankey and the SEC want to curtail this as much as possible. Is he making too big a deal out of that? Or does he just need to deal with it? Obviously, he's trying to protect his players, his coaches, his family. Or is this being overblown? Because this was one of the...
This is the scary part. And listen, when you're out there and then you're the team trying to get to your locker room, you're the visiting team because no one rushes the floor. When you're the visiting team, you're always the one. It's in harm's way. The officials, the people at the table, game administration, all of these folks are in, and if you don't have a policy as a league and someone gets hurt or unfortunately killed in one of these as people trample over others to get to where they want to be out in the middle of the celebration, where's your leg to stand on as a conference, as an institution? Where can you show, hey, we had these policies in place. We tried to do these things to mitigate the risk and to stop it before it ever happened. You better have something to your public about that, hey, here's what we were trying to do. Or you open yourself up to a ton of liability.
Well, I just think about these upcoming road games.
It's your responsibility to keep people safe.
Yeah, and I was thinking about it from the Arkansas perspective. Cal's been a part of many court stormings on the opposite end, and I don't know if Arkansas continues to win, if they were to lose on the road, would that happen with this Razorback basketball team where the opposing team and fan base would court storm and have something like that? To my knowledge, I'd have to think about this, and that would be a good trivia question. It's like, when is the last time Arkansas has been on the opposite end of a court storming? Not a at-home type of game, but when is on the opposite end? I personally don't know in football or basketball, to be honest. But I know that, again, incredible basketball finish. North Carolina again trailed for 39 minutes, 59 seconds, and 0.6, but it's just a wild way to see that game finish. And that is just that is a game that I would love to go to. Similar to like the Iron Bowl, got a chance to go to Michigan, Ohio State. That's a basketball game I would love to take in just as a casual fan.
Yeah. Well, I would love to go to a game, and hopefully Arkansas does get matched up with Duke at some point, like you were talking about, because that's one of those bucket list venues. Dean Dome, yeah, but Duke edges out.
Yeah,
to me, what
Cameron
North Carolina?
Indoor.
Yeah,
it is very unique when you walk into the Dean Dome and the intimidation. Like Tiger Bait always calls in about the intimidator with LSU's, I think 6 now baseball national championships.
He's gonna
but
call
when you
and tell you that's wrong.
Yeah, or 5, whatever it is. But when you walk into the Dean Dome, Arkansas played Chapel Hill in 22 in baseball. I got a chance to tour the facility in the midst of graduation and to see those jerseys, see Jordan, see Wallace, Stackhouse, and the list goes on and on. It's a really cool, unique venue. But like you said, if I had the choice, you said you could watch an Arkansas North Carolina game in Chapel Hill or an Arkansas Duke game in Durham, I'm probably going to go to the Durham game.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, that's the SEC update. It's brought to you by Gaston's White River Resort. At Gaston's, they're ready for a big Valentine's weekend. You need to call and find out about availability and maybe get your own private cabin and lodge. In fact, they've got about 80 of those on property that you can enjoy with your special someone, get away for this weekend. Or maybe you just, you know what, we kind of live within 20 or 30 minutes or an hour. Take the drive to Gaston's. Have a Valentine's meal Friday or Saturday night or even the next day on Sunday and avoid the crowds maybe on a off day. But they got plenty of seating with a great view of the White River. And it's a great place, even if you don't stay at Gaston's, to go have a wonderful Valentine's meal. 870-431-5202. You can look at menus and options and different things about Gaston's online at gastons.com. 870-431-5202. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every time.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive hotline at 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive, serving drivers since 1946 and built on a tradition of trust.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Being young with unlimited energy to burn. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think you could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
All guys lose their edge when they turn 40. The body has less testosterone. That's why I take Nugenix Total T.
I've heard about Nugenix. That really works?
Since I started taking Nugenix, I'm lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. I feel more energized at work. It's even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try?
Yep, send a text. It's that easy.
Text FORCE to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone-boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text FORCE to 42424. That's FORCE to 42424. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Isaiah?
Hell yeah. This is the Morning Rush.
Hey, this is Damien, and I've grown up around the kitchen at DK Fit Meals. My dad, David, the owner, started this business because he knows you're busy, but you still want food that's fresh, delicious, and actually good for you. Forget the fast food compromises. We're taking customized, ready-to-eat, healthy meals made right here in Fort Smith. Whether you pre-order for the week or ordering something from our grab-and-go frozen meals, we make it easy to stick to your goals. Stop settling and start performing. Get your next week of meals sorted today. Visit dkfitmeals.com, that's dkfitmeals.com, and taste the difference fresh food makes. Fuel your life with DK Fit Meals.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. For a successful stint in the great outdoors, pack accordingly. Place heavy essentials near your spine for stability in rough terrain, with light items near the bottom. Now, you may be wondering, where does the Bush Light go? In your stomach. Head for the mountains. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023, Anheuser-Busch, Bush Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Get ready for Mudbug Mayhem. The Crawfish Festival, that's a true celebration of community, family, and culture. Join us March 7th at Chaffee Crossing Historic District for Cajun-inspired food, live music, local vendors, and a sizzling crawfish cook-off. Check out the car show, the cornhole contest. There's activities for all ages, and you can make memories with friends and family. Don't miss the fun. Mudbug Mayhem Crawfish Festival, March 7th. It's free to get in. Learn more at mudbugmayhemfest.com.
Presented by Central Hydraulics. When your equipment slows down, every minute matters. At Central Hydraulics, they keep your machines operating with the power and precision they were built for. From custom hydraulic hoses made while you wait to cylinder rebuilds, pump repairs, and hard-to-find parts, their technicians get you solutions you need. Fast, accurate, and done right the first time. Stop by 6104 Highway 271 in Fort Smith or call 479-646-0471. Whether it's a simple hose replacement or a major hydraulic repair, they're here to keep your equipment performing. Central Hydraulics, helping you move the world.
Attention, have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-885-5151. That's 800-885-5151. Again, that's 800-885-5151.
Ace has always been the helpful place. Now we're even more helpful by offering instant savings to Ace Rewards members. Not a member? Just sign up at Metters Lumber Ace Hardware to start saving right at the register. Right now, save $30 on select DeWalt 20-volt max tools or $20 on select Ego outdoor power equipment after instant savings with your Ace Rewards card. Ace, the helpful place. Must be an Ace Rewards member to receive instant savings. Available through the end of the month. See participating stores for details.
Doe's Eat Place has been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years, and now they're offering smoked prime rib on the weekends. It's a limited supply, so get your reservations in early. Try one of their delicious appetizers or your choice of drinks from the area's largest selection of wine, beer, and liquor. Doe's Eat Place open Tuesday through Thursday 5 to 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended. Follow them on Facebook for more upcoming features and events. Call 479-784-9111 for Doe's Eat Place, 422 North 3rd Street in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Hotline at 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive, serving drivers since 1946 and built on a tradition of trust.
It's unbelievable. You know, just everything that's happened in my career, but to do it with this team, I wouldn't want it any other way. So proud of our guys, our defense. I mean, I can't say enough great things about our defense, our special teams. I know we won the Super Bowl, but we could have been a little bit better on offense, but I don't care about that right now.
I can't remember if it was Mark Ingram or Greg McElroy that told this story, and you heard Sam Darnold, quarterback for the Seattle Seahawks, talking about maybe some miscues, some things they could have done better. But Saban, like apparently in the locker room after the game, after their first national championship in 2009 with him as head coach, was like, hey, for all you seniors, thank you so much for all you done. And then this is after them being Texas, like, but all of you guys coming back, there's so much we have to fix, blah, blah, blah. And just starts cussing it. Ingram or McElroy, I forget what, so it's just kind of like looking around. It's like, did we just win a national championship? But that's just the psychopathic coach that Nick Saban was. And it's just a certain cut of cloth that guys are made of. But it's kind of a cool, like, I don't ever really feel bad for a USC quarterback, but his story is kind of cool. I mean, his fifth team in the National Football League, first USC quarterback to ever get it done. The road hasn't been easy for Sam Darnold, and I mean, Seattle's had a pretty good organization. John Snyder's a terrific GM, and McDonald's 30 years old and just won his first Super Bowl. Well, and
you look at that franchise, and it has had success in the past, and going with the youth movement, like you said, this time with the coaching staff. And weren't they telling the story last night how he was an intern for a couple of years? And I mean, just the track and how he got there
for Georgia.
Yeah,
he would hang around the offices at the Georgia facilities just begging for anything to do, and they finally gave him the GA job.
And it's like 13 years later now, he's hoisting the Super Bowl trophy. I mean, it just if that doesn't inspire you a little bit, then you're probably uninspirable.
Apparently, he went to Starbucks and ran into Todd Grantham, who was the DC, I guess, for Georgia at the time, and begged him for a position. And like you said, years
Probably
later,
stalked him all the way to Starbucks. So.
Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. You look at some great figures in history. Like I think Steven Spielberg, if I remember his story right, like made up himself a position in a production company, and now what he's done, you got to do what you got to do, and he did. Again, to be less than 40 years old, third youngest coach is pretty cool. I just like the story for Sam Darnold. Again, I never feel sorry for a USC quarterback, but a lot of guys would have given up or just wouldn't have gotten to this point. And sometimes it's just about right landing.
That's right.
Vikings, not a great organization, has a great performance last year, ends up with a really good team, a team that bet on him, and it paid off.
We're so quick to label these guys like Sam Darnold as busts when they come out of college and they land in a terrible franchise. That's not. We don't have a problem with quarterbacks in the league. It's a problem with franchises that can't, haven't, and will never be able to develop one.
Well,
the Jets, the Panthers, the Vikings have never really had one. I mean,
what people speculate on Arch Manning and Dante Moore coming back to school is neither one of them want to go to the Jets. I don't blame them.
No.
I mean, that you think about where guys start their career and how it really affects them moving forward in the National Football League. Makes sense to me.
Well, now in today's time, the money's so good in college. If you don't like your landing spot, just hang out another year, get even more money than you just got for coming back, because that's your leverage. And, you wait till maybe the draft order looks something more favorable for you and don't get hurt. But in the meantime, I'll make $4, $5, $6 million.
I think it's cool also in the National Football League. We talk about parity, like it's set up for draft picks and who your schedule plays out. Like I was just doing some quick research, like, hey, what's Seattle recently finished? So they were 7-10 and 21. They were 9-8 in both 22 and 23. 10-7 last year, and then they win the Super Bowl this season. You just don't have that in college football. It's just different, and the NFL is strategically placed. There's the structure like that. And I think that's appealing to a lot of people. Like you were talking about the dynamics of New England and Seattle. While it's not necessarily a great Super Bowl for us, with the exception of a few Razorback connections like Kevin Richardson and Hunter Henry and Eric Gregory, I think it's appealing nationwide when you feel like any given year could be yours, with the exception if you're like a Jets or Browns fan, for your team.
Yeah. Inside the Super Bowl is always some great stories. I think the youth of the coaches or the youth of the Seattle coach was certainly a great one last night. So
Vrabel is not that much older to your point. So if he would have won, I don't know what it would have ranked on that. But
yeah, but he comes from a player's pedigree. That there's a little more of a direct path to what he's accomplished and what he's doing. Being the player. I mean, even Bob Kraft's story, they were telling, showing him at the end when they run out of things to talk about because the game wasn't as interesting. He had missed a Patriots Super Bowl, was there at Super Bowl 20, 40 years as a fan, and, and then had a change. No one's feeling sorry for Bob Kraft, but kind of a cool story. He ends up, going from fan to owner. That doesn't often happen.
Would you guys have tried the $180 LX burger in Santa Clara yesterday?
No.
That's too much
Bone-in,
indulgence.
braised veal,
Nope.
blue cheese fondue,
Y'all lost me
brioche
there.
bun. They had $8 waters, $36 cocktails. Cheesesteak wasn't too bad, $18 relative to some of the other prices, but $180.
As if $5,000 to get in wasn't enough.
Yeah.
$180.
These prices are just they're just outrageous. And
You said it was veal, like it had like a cut of
braised veal shank.
Oh my god,
is what it is for $180. Apparently, it's supposed to be shared between 2, 3, and 4 people. I don't know if I would have purchased something as extravagant and as crazy as that.
It's only $90 a piece to share this burger.
That doesn't sound appealing whatsoever.
They come out.
Close to 4 millionaire.
I feel like baseball parks have the best, wildest food. Like when you look at basketball, baseball, and football venues, baseball has the best food items.
It's typically promotional. Typically, they're doing something to give away with that. Yeah, like marshmallow nachos or something gross. Ugh.
If you haven't downloaded the Hit That Line Now app, do that today. Take us with you. We're headed towards March Madness. You're going to need to take us anywhere you go. It's brought to you by Taco Bell. Whether you're craving something cheesy, saucy, or crunchy, Taco Bell has you covered. You can listen now, then take us to the gym, put your AirPods in, and listen to Matt and Phil coming up with halftime. It's the Hit That Line Now app powered by Taco Bell.
Do want to mention before we go, Bobby Portis selected for the NBA three-point contest. Excited about that. Hopefully Bobby has a chance to win that here in the is it this weekend, Colton, or is it coming weeks?
I think it's coming week. I think it's next weekend.
Okay, well, hopefully he has a chance to win
know.
it. Well, for Tommy, Colton, I'm Ty. Halftime coming up next. Phil Elson, Matt Jones, Big C on the way.
Looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong? Call the Fence Man, 479-782-3936. Serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years, the Fence Man builds custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, and high security. Need automatic gates? The Fence Man does it. Need financing? You got it. 18